On the bench for the Sea Dogs this afternoon is Duckworth, Myers, Chapman and Marshall. Romero is over there as well, not named on the team sheet, but there as a precaution if necessary. Marine make one change as well. They've brought Bailey Marsden back into their side, who was suspended like Perver, 5 yellow cards, missed out in their trip to Worksop the other week. So they line up this afternoon with Barnsley as their goalkeeper. A back line of Adam Anson, Declan Drysdale, Josh Wardle is their captain, and Odin Samuel-Smith. Then in midfield, a 3-man midfield of Harvey Gregson, Sam Fielding and Bailey Marsden, as I mentioned. Up front, Ash Hunter on one wing, Matty McDonald on the other, and up front is George Newell as the ball has worked its way to Ryan Whitley in all black after a bit of possession down the left-hand side for Marine and an overarm throw out towards Harry Green. Sets Scarborough on their way, looking for Allen with a more direct approach for a through ball down the centre, gobbled up by Barnsley, and it will be Marine to try and play out. Sam Smith will try and hit it forward, but the offside flag is raised. An opportunity then to bring in Darren Foreman for the first time this afternoon at a sunny Queensgate. It doesn't matter how they go about it today, Darren Foreman, but 3 points is the bare minimum, isn't it?
I think so. That's a requisite for today's game. Obviously 2 disappointing results during the week, but opportunity to put it right.
Marine wearing their change strip of stripes of green and then a more British racing green, if you like, as Scarborough play forward. It's over Walker's head, up, a sliced ball behind for a corner kick under no pressure. Harvey Gregson wearing number 8 to the left of the penalty spot. It was an overhit cross into the area. Marine could have let that actually bounce out of play. No call from his teammates, and the first set piece of the afternoon, Darren Foreman.
Yeah, the wind's going to play a part today. It's Scarborough with the win this half, so it's going to play a big part.
Maloney, first set piece of the day for him. One arm is raised, delivers, it bounces around the 6-yard box. Waleji trying to be a nuisance. Partial clearance from Marine, recycled by Green to Maloney. Green collects left wing position, just a little step in both directions, drags it to the touchline in front of the Marine dugouts. Then Maloney swinging it in from deep. Thornton stays forward, tries to connect, can't do so, and Samuels-Smith, the left back, will just let the ball settle at the feet of Barnsley in his all-yellow goalkeeping kit. So 4 at the back for Marine. They've been quite direct from watching them so far this season, and against more direct teams, Scarborough have had a little bit more joy so far, as Barnsley hits the ball straight out of play for a throw-in on this left-hand side. Yeah, we've
alluded to it a couple of times during the season. Scarborough in the past have got carried away with playing exactly the same way as the team that they play against, so they've got their own style of play.
Samuel-Smith, the left back, heads the ball in field. Maloney trying to lift one in behind the defence for Walker to give chase to. The captain Wardle just had a little bit of an arm pull, which is why Stephen Walker is maybe having a word with the linesman here and just asking him to keep an eye as the throw-in for Scarborough down this near side touchline with Waldron. Ball in hand, wearing 22, throws it short into Walker, right of the penalty area, just dabs it back towards Rio Allen. Then Maloney, he was about to kick through to try and get across, and then looked like he just backed out of it slightly from Marsden, wearing 11, who's back in the side today. Short throw in again from Waldron, plays to Maloney. First pass attempted is blocked by McDonald, so it goes back to Waleji, who's peeled into the right back area, back towards Whitley, and he's going to give that a smack out to the left hand side. Brown trying to head it on past halfway for Scarborough. Bit of head tennis ensues, and now Marine again trying to just lift it forward. Scuffed ball up into the air, and now Marine attack, because Maloney just caught out temporarily by Hunter. Up towards the penalty area though, Thornton stops Marine in their tracks, and it's played now to Brown. He combines with Colville, who's peeled over to the left, and they can build from the back, Darren Foreman.
Yeah, they're happy to just let Scarborough get possession, and then it looks like they're going to try and catch Scarborough on the break.
Does feel, looking at the numbers going into this game and the way that Marine have shaped up so far, this could have a Leamington feel about it. Yeah. But what was so important about that performance was how they really took the game to Leamington within the first 10 minutes. Marine just having a couple of knocks forward with no real success. Whitley will just side foot the ball out now towards Waleji. No striker going to press the ball at the moment, as Waleji is allowed to trot almost up to halfway before giving it a diagonal ball attempt. It's going to run through though, past the byline. Green was nearby, a couple of yards away, but it just runs through harmlessly for a goal kick.
Yeah, probably going to need to get it wide, because I think anything that goes down the middle will go straight through to the keeper. So the balls on the diagonal are the way forward for Scarborough, without a shadow of a doubt.
Just 4 minutes played here at Queensgate. Good afternoon to you here on BBC Radio York. If you are looking for Harrogate Town's match against Newport County in League 2, you want to switch to DAB Digital for this afternoon's coverage. Between 5 and 6 we'll have all the post-match reaction from this game and Harrogate, as well as anyone who's maybe just wanting to catch a repeat of Stuart Maynard's thoughts from York City's 1-1 draw earlier today against FC Halifax Town. Allen collects the ball in a right midfield position, 5 yards away from the white paint to the halfway line. Has no room to explore as Marsden and Samuel Smith double up on him, and the ball is pushed out of play for a throw-in. Waldron will take it short. Dropped back by Colville in his blue boots. Waldron just assessing how the first couple of passes have taken place, and it does look like that ball is just hanging a little bit and sticking a little bit in what looks to be a quite overgrown surface. Direct ball forward from Scarborough, headed back, and Green puts pressure on Barnsley, the goalkeeper, who just backed out of trying to dive down on the ball near his byline on the right side of his goal. And that's another cheap corner that Marine have conceded in the early stages.
Yeah, the keeper looks a bit edgy, doesn't look as if he's in command of his box. You know, you'd like to have seen the keeper, if you were a defender, to be out on the edge of his box there, and he'd just taken it and collected it. They look as if they're going to set with 2 centre halves and two sitting midfield players.
And they've gone very tight with their marking, as you expect from a set piece. Curved towards the front post, headed out that time by Marsden. Maloney now sets it in once again, and well, Barnsley gets his hands right up in the air. That 6'5" frame, stretching his arms as high as he could, and claims the ball just a yard away from that goal line. But you said it, Darren Foreman, you thought it was dropping in.
I thought it was going to go over his head. Good job he is 6'5", because I think if he hadn't been 6'5", he definitely would have gone over.
If he'd stretched any further, he would have been like a Stretch Armstrong, as Barnsley is forced to punch from another long ball attempted by Scarborough for Walker to give chase to, and it just drops out of play for a throw-in on this near side. So quite direct in the early stages from Scarborough Athletic. The one thing they've not gone against the grain of tactically is moving the ball into wide areas, as we would expect here at Queensgate. As Samuel Smith, the left back of Marine, throws the ball in from his final third, plays towards Allen. Ball pops back to Colville, bit messy in the midfield area. Marsden trying to push it back to his defenders, and Wardle, the centre-half captain, manages to have a bit of clever footwork and then plays a long ball forward up to Matthew McDonald. He loses possession and then goes quite heavily in on Will Thornton, the captain, who stayed down after the challenge. He will get to his feet eventually, but the referee blowing his whistle right on the spot, and a quick word for McDonald, wearing 10 for Marine.
Yeah, just they're looking for second balls, bits and pieces, especially in the breakdown.
Bobby Grant, their man, stepping in at the start of the season after Neil Young departed, just 35 years of age, his first rodeo as a manager, but has brought in a couple of players from previous clubs who he has been on the pitch with, including Ash Hunter, who played alongside him at Fleetwood, and also Wardle is a former Radcliffe man when Bobby Grant played there just a couple of years ago on their rise through the divisions. 0-0 here in the early stages. No goals to tell you about in the National League North either at this moment in time, but we will bring you any score updates as they drop in across the division. Quick look at the league table as it stands at the start of the day. Scarborough 6 points off top from South Shields, Fylde sandwiched in between on 30 at this moment in time. Radcliffe 4th, Spennymoor 5th, and Scarborough getting up to the final third after a bit of slow build-up. Throw in on the far side, and Green drags it infield, delivers towards the penalty area. Walker trapped it down momentarily. Marine gather back, and now they try and clear away down their right-hand edge. Into the feet again of Harvey Gregson, then into Ash Hunter. First bit of neat play from Marine as they then try and play a through ball down the right hand side. No runners in green shirts. Thornton is able to clip the ball away. Marine's header lands at the feet of Dom Tier in the centre of the park. Spreads it over to Rio Allen, who tries to take a touch in field. Referee says no to a foul. Marsden let his body run across Rio Allen. He was knocked to the floor. Play goes on, but Scarborough have it back. Waldron down the right side towards Rio Allen. He looks to try and step back in field. Thought it had gone out of play. Put his arm up for a throw-in appeal. Didn't realise the ball was behind him. Good reactions though. Gregson for Marine in the meantime now carries it forward and up now towards their number 9 for Marine in Newell, who tries to cross in. Easy block there for Waldron, and it'll be a throw-in down in Scarborough's final third.
Yeah, that's the disadvantage of having a left-footed player on the right-hand side and vice versa. We'd have liked to have seen Rio Allen go on the outside there rather than come on the inside, and unfortunately lost possession, and that left a great big hole for them to attack us.
Memory deceives me, but I think with Allen, Walker and Harry Green, we've got a trio of left-footers all playing up front this afternoon. I know Walker is good on both feet, but that would be quite a rare entity across the land.
Yeah, I think Harry Green's going to be important today. I think the fullback looks like a very converted goalkeeper, centre half to me.
He has got experience playing out there, has Adam Anson, the former Alfreton, where he did play centre-back by trade. And Tia spreads the play in the Marine half over to Alex Brown, who's then been just tackled as he tried to keep the ball in play, but the linesman got his flag up and the ball had already gone out. Marine's throwing in the meantime down the other end was launched in, and it was bread and butter stuff for Ryan Whitley, catching with two hands and didn't come to anything. First goal has gone in the National League North. It's at Darlington, who are playing Southport, and Darlington lead by 1-0 after 9 minutes. 10.5 gone here. Scarborough Athletic 0, Marine 0, in a game that hasn't really had a fast tempo to it so far, as both teams just seemingly trying to settle at the moment.
Yeah, just jousting at the moment, aren't they? They're happy just to sit in and let Scarborough possession. But we've got to be careful that we don't just try and knock long balls, because we've got the wind with us.
I think the first indicator, though, 10 minutes into the game, Darren, is that from what we've seen from the possession so far, Marine, as you've alluded to, they want second balls primarily, but I think when they get the ball into their midfield areas, they don't look comfortable and as assured. I think they look like they need a bit more time and a couple more touches to orchestrate their play.
Yeah, they've got a couple of defensive-minded midfielders by the looks of it, and like I say, they're happy for Scarborough to have possession deep in their own half.
It was a slow burner against Marine last season, and just to let you know, in League 2 it's now Harrogate 0, Newport 1. Big diagonal played forward and Waldron's come for it. Barnsley commits to the edge of his penalty area, dives down on the ball, and he managed to get it away. Waldron had carried his run on as Matty McDonald, wearing 10 for Marine, tries to push one down the left-hand wing. Walleggi covers in Waldron's absence. It goes back towards Whitley. That was nearly inch perfect, but it was a good run from Barnsley. He didn't really have too much room to work with, but he was committed and confident.
Yeah, just that's where we're going to get our joy. I think the wide positions, whether it's the fullbacks or the wide players.
Good flick from Rio Allen on this right hand side, collecting in a diagonal ball to Waldron. Now back towards Dom Tier. He's facing the wrong way, so it goes to Maloney in a right midfield position. Feeds it into Green, who's come right across to the opposite wing. So they are a bit lopsided here, Scarborough, but they're knitting it together as Allen plays to Green, rides out of one tackle, then goes down. It will be a free kick to the edge of the box right side, and I have to say, from Gregson's point of view, that looked harsh.
Yeah, it looked harsh to me. I think the ball was behind Harry Green and hadn't taken it with him, and I thought that was a dive at best.
He certainly went looking for it,
yeah,
that's for sure.
Good opportunity for Scarborough from this position, especially with Colville's left foot.
The Marine haven't looked confident in the air in these areas.
No, and the keeper's looked edgy in my eyes. He hasn't come for much, and I think the two centre halves are looking for him to come and get things, and they're waiting for him, and he hasn't come and got anything.
Just a two-man wall in green shirts. Colville has the ball. This is probably just a couple of yards away from that white paint of the edge of the box. Colville over it in his white boots. Maloney will deliver with the outswinger though, and it's aimed towards the 6-yard box. Header won by Marine, behind for a corner, third of the day. That was an inviting delivery, but Marine got the positioning right and just made sure it was turned behind.
Yeah, we know that Scarborough got good delivery from free kicks and corners. Maloney, Colville, and they're going to miss the right hand side of Perver, but I'm sure that's what Maloney be doing.
Yeah, Colville's come over to this near side. Referee stops play because he just wants a word or two. I think Rio Allen is in his eye at the moment. With Barnsley on the goal line, Rio Allen is the one who's trying to be a bit of a pest to the centre half who's marking. Tier also crowding up that back post area. Colville will deliver. It's not a bad looking delivery. Barnsley gets two hands to it and flicks the ball away past the right hand side, out for a throw in over on that far side. Quarter of an hour gone, 0-0, but Scarborough maybe just having that arm wrestle of being able to showcase a bit more dominance in the final third and just create a few more opportunities in the final third is where I'm going with.
Yeah, just a little bit more just a bit more quality. Just a little bit more quality.
Brown's long throw over Thornton's head. Don't think it touched any of the green socks of the Marine defenders, and it wanders behind for a goal kick. Buxton lead 1-0 at home against Alfreton, and Darlington have gone 2-0 up now at home against Southport in the National League North, as Barnsley will take his time to get play restarted.
Yeah, it looks to me as if they'll be happy to get to half-time. It's 0-0, and that they'll look to take advantage of the wind with them second half, free kicks, corners, because they look a big side. And this one, what we've been told is they're good from set pieces, and they get the ball forward very quickly.
Cleared away then by Barnsley. Doesn't hang too much in the wind, but it is forecast this afternoon, and it will take effect later as Colville plays to Brown. Brown trying to slide it on to Harry Green, but he wasn't ready for it, and he's gesturing to Brown that he wanted it into his feet, whereas Brown wanted him to go and run in behind.
Yeah, I think Harry Green's got to be a bit shallower there. He's on top of he's really on top of Brownie there by the looks of it, and he wants to be a bit shallower or just go in behind.
Just that lapse in communication as Marine throw it in down the line. Colville's going to let it bypass him right in front of Jonathan Greening's technical area. Down the line they come. Gregson dangerous now. Matty McDonald has the ball in the area right hand side. Welledgy covers. A cross still supplied there by Wardle. Comes out to the edge of the area and a shot comes in, but now Scarborough in red, they swarm. It was Ash Hunter who took the chance on the right winger, who was stationed 20 yards from goal. He collects the ball again as Marine try and rebuild with Gregson, and Gregson scampering out to the right hand side. Green tries to get back and tackle him, and he hasn't taken any of the ball, and it's quite a clumsy kick at the Marine man. Down he goes right hand side, and a free kick about 30 yards away in crossing territory on the right.
Yeah, forwards tackle there, just tracking back, just need to stay with his man, don't need to make a challenge. The initial trouble came about from a miss kick from Kieran Welledgy, but that's the first time they've really caused problems going forward.
Well, Marine are taking their time to get this one ready. It's going to be Ash Hunter, 4 assists so far this season. He's got only 3 players in the whole division with more in the tank, and he will deliver into the penalty area. Bobbles around once or twice around the 6-yard line and cleared away for a throw-in. Nobody really in a red shirt looked confident in taking authority in getting the ball away, but it was hitting quite low and quite awkwardly. It was a bit too high for a kick at it, and certainly too low to head the ball away. Yeah,
they're going to cause problems from free kicks, corners, throw-ins. That's what they're about by the looks of it.
And the throw-in comes in from the right-hand side. Header by Brown, didn't get much distance as Marine are scrapping away on the edge of the box to try and keep the attack alive. McDonald is forced to the left by Rio Allen. McDonald will deliver in low. Just a little hack away that time from the Scarborough defence. Still it comes back, however, as we see Wardle, and now delivered into the box and flicked goalwards, but into the hands easily for Whitley. It was Sam Fielding having the chance, and an angled ball in that time from Declan Drysdale, who'd pushed forward the centre half, delivering the cross. And that's a little warning sign for Scarborough to think about as Waldron brings the ball upfield, tries to play it down the right line, blocked and out for a throw-in past halfway.
Yeah, Scarborough got a 3v2 in the middle of midfield if they can get Dom Tier in the hole. They're just sat with 2 sitting midfield players, and Dom Tier's just getting him in between the pair of them.
Waldron's throw-in played to Colville, 19 minutes played, 0-0. Marine have had their first big chance. Big diagonal played by Waldron over towards Green. He can scamper into the box, looking for the cutback to Walker. Well defended by Marine, but that had a bit more urgency about it, a bit more pace, and that's what Scarborough are looking for in those areas.
That's the outball. Outballs out to Harry Green, then take the right back, who looks like a centre half to me.
Here comes Green, neatly played towards Brown, cut back towards the penalty spot, and just hoisted away by Gregson towards the corner flag. It's going to be a throw-in rather than a corner, but 2 bites of the cherry for Green to play a ball in on the cutback. Marine have dealt with both accordingly.
Yeah, that's much better though, isn't it? We've got Harry Green free from his man, Brown joining in as well. I think that's the way forward for Scarborough, most definitely.
And Brown has got the ball in hand, looking at where everyone's positioned. Weleji and Tier there on the front post. Thornton front of the 6-yard box. Allen and Walker waiting in space, so too is Colville. Brown's throw-in is not the best directed. Marine's clearance is a poor one as well, as it was Hunter trying to scramble the ball away. He got it up to about 30 yards from his own goal, and then a free kick goes the way of Marine, but a grappling in the midfield. I was talking ahead of this game with you, Darren, with no Alex Perver, who's going to be the one to be the assertive ball-winning midfielder, if you like, because you look at Colville, he's there for his creativity, but I think he might have to just take a bit of that side, temper that out, and do the hard yards. Yeah,
I think so. And Lewis Maloney's good when he goes on the ball. Defensively, not as good as Alex Perver. Let's be perfectly truthful. But what Scarborough will offer today is they'll probably offer a little bit more going forward in respect of passing ability.
And the free kick from deep was sent direct. A little header near the penalty spot, but cleared away harmlessly by Scarborough Athletic, as it's 0-0 here on BBC Radio York. Oh, Brown was pushed very aggressively over on the far side. The fans didn't like it over there, as Hunter went in on Alex Brown, and Brown is normally a player who lets things go, but he immediately swatted the arm of respect away, and Brown is actually getting really rattled up there as Newell comes in. And this is very unlike Alex Brown, as he was barged over around the shoulders, and he needs to let it go, and the yellow card does come out for Ash Hunter.
Yeah, I think the yellow card was always going to come out, but if he's not careful with Alex Brown, he's going to get himself a yellow card when he didn't need to get involved. The referee was always going to pull a yellow card. He got there before the man, without a shadow of a doubt, and just give him a little bit of a nudge to make sure he didn't get it.
He's still not letting it go, Alex Brown. I can see he and Hunter having a little committee meeting, if you like. As
need to be careful. The referee's given a free kick and he's given a foul, and he's given also given a yellow card out.
Direct free kick to be taken by Maloney. Has got the weight of it to find Thornton, knocks it down near the spot. It's cleared away by Marine. Colville gathers 35 yards from goal towards Maloney. He's hit on through the air looking for Waldron. He's got it all wrong as well, and Newell can gather here. Marine can possibly hit on the break. Colville's got back in position, and now Marine go towards the left hand side. Colville slides in, mistimed however, so Marsden comes forward for Marine, left of the box, delivers the ball in looking for Newell. It flies over his head and behind safely from a Scarborough Athletic point of view, but Maloney tried to switch the play to Waldron, and he tried to do it through the air. Really, he should have just not nudged the ball back home towards Ryan Whitley, because he can see where everyone is.
Yeah, should have gone back to Ryan Whitley there without a shadow of a doubt. Try to pass that probably wasn't on, and especially in this wind, and caused problems. But go back to your keeper if you need to.
A couple of goals have gone in the National League North as well. I'll bring you up to date with those in a moment, as Scarborough look to build, as Green has the ball just inside his own half, facing towards his own goal. He will take a few touches and now looks to swing it out to Waldron. Samuel Smith not in the best position from the get-go, and he's had to hit it off his thigh behind for a corner from the presence of Waldron trying to run in behind. Good play by Waldron without even touching the ball.
Yeah, I thought it was a rather hopeful ball by Harry Green, but like you said, the fullback's starting position wasn't that great, and ended up facing the wrong direction, and it just knocked it out for a corner. So we've got to take advantage. We've had 3 or 4. We've got to take advantage of them.
Ball was hit from halfway, bounced on the 18-yard line, and Samuel Smith was about 5 yards further forward. So Colville will get one arm in the air. Green has offered a short option to drag McDonald out, delivered to the 6-yard box, scrambling and behind for a corner kick. Didn't see who it brushed off, but one in green has come very perilously close to turning it into his own net, and it's another corner for Scarborough.
Looked like Declan Drysdale to me. Fletcher just got the last touch, just needed someone at the far post, just a little tapping, but I'm just the wrong side of the post for Scarborough, unfortunately.
I can put the blame on this bright red steel girder that's in front of us, keeping the roof up here in the main stand at Queensgate, as Maloney will now look to re-deliver, and Thornton leaps for it. He got a touch, but it's into the hands of Barnsley.
Yeah, good ball in by Maloney. Will Thornton with a good touch. Unfortunately, Scarborough straight at the keeper.
After the first 15 minutes, Marine did have a go, and they had a couple of chances, but do you now sense, Darren Foreman, that Scarborough are just trying to turn the screw a little bit? Because the stats all say that they've had territory. They haven't had a lot of shots. They haven't really tested Barnsley on numerous occasions as yet. but they are starting to maybe have a bit of presence in terms of territory?
Yeah, I think so. I think they just a bit more quality. It's not easy, I know, in this win, but we've got to just have a little bit more quality in around the box.
Maloney collects the ball in a centre midfield area, and he had a bit of space to have a look and see what was around him. Samuel Smith, the left back, with a header away. Tia's then gone in for the resulting header, and he's got a yellow card for his troubles after catching his man, who's down on the ground at the moment. Wardle, the captain of Marine, is just having a quick word with today's referee. Physio's not needed at the moment.
I'm going to hazard a guess that there's nothing wrong with him.
No. Bailey Marsden
I
was the
don't
one.
think Dom Tier took him. I don't think there was a booking. He was a bit late, but I didn't think there was much in it. Apologies if you heard any foul language.
No.
But he was probably thinking what we were. He was probably saying what we were thinking, to be truthful. But hey,
what was he thinking, Darren?
The cheating
Foreman?
bit. We mentioned him shout the cheating bit.
We'll mention the second word.
Yeah, we'll mention the second. But that's what it looked like. He bought a free kick there. Didn't look a bad tackle to me. The referee, probably evened up from the Alex Brown challenge, I suspect.
Free kick in the middle of the Marine half then, which is launched forwards. Newell getting pressurised by Willeji on the edge of the box. It's landed towards Hunter, fed out wide, delivered in. Thornton got a glancing touch. It should stay in play easily, and Green collects on the edge of his own area on the left hand side to try and bring Scarborough away. Good bit of turn of acceleration from Green. Now he's gone long looking for Rio Allen. Ball's landed at the feet of Wardle, and then Allen and Walker try and combine. They concede a throw-in, do Marine, over on that far side. Domtier, yellow card, and Scarborough Athletic have just tweeted out that it's his birthday today, so a birthday yellow card as opposed to the ones you'd like to get in the mail or from your family. As Green, left wing, switching it over to Waldron. They've gone through the air again. Waldron has hung well, though, to try and win the ball over Marsden. There's a good 5 or 6 inch difference in height.
That was a Scarborough ball. Just flicked off the shoulder of the 11. Marsden, yeah.
As Samuel Smith has the ball in hand.
Second time that crossfield ball's just caused problems for Scarborough rather than for Marine.
It's from this position as well. It doesn't look like a very easy ball to play either. It looks like they're overcomplicating it and just trying to get it into spaces to try and run in behind. As Samuel Smith, left back, on the turn will clear away instead of going back to Barnsley. That's good pressure from Walker off the ball to eliminate that passing angle, and he's collected the ball in the middle of his own half. Little nudge on him when he was just sort of dawdling around, like a wandering Walker, if you like, but he gets a free kick for his troubles. Rather innocent looking tackle coming in, and Scarborough have a chance to deliver into the box from 40 yards in the middle.
I think that Scarborough much preferred it if it had been further over this way with a bit of an angle. It's very, very straight. Do you think Lewis Maloney fancies a pop here? Do you think a bit too far?
It'd be goal of the season if he gets this in.
It would, but I think the way he's running with the wind, does he think fancying himself to have a shot?
I'd say this is north of 35 yards, but Maloney is looking at it. Green and Colville walk away, and he does strike it, and he's forced Barnsley into a save. 2 flying fists punch the ball away to the right hand side, out for a throw in.
Yeah, it was worth a pop, especially with this wind. He just looked as if he was shaping up to hit it, to be fair.
Brown's got the ball in his hands. Another chance from a set-piece situation then for Scarborough Athletic. That's where the productivity is coming from. Green, left wing, just plays it short, looking for Colville, but that is cleared away easily by Matty MacDonald. Up to George Newell, the striker. Stopped by Waldron. Thornton there, it's a double act. And then Rio Allen tries to move the ball around Samuel Smith. He went sliding in, near halfway. It was good defending there from the Everton learning fullback, but his left-back enemy on the far side, Alex Brown, picks out his diagonal, heads it back to Whitley, and the keeper immediately bowls it back to Scarborough's number 21 to get the next phase moving. Green trying to play a little flicked inside away from Anson, whose former employers Alfreton are being battered by Buxton by 4-0 in the first half. They've only played 25 minutes there. Here, 28.5 gone. It's Scarborough Athletic 0, Marine 0 on BBC Radio York. Throw-in taken by those in red, and Walker loses the ball. Green comes in to help though and wins a throw-in again. Just a reminder, you can have your say between 5 and 6. Text 81333 and 08000 321 333 on the WhatsApp. Start your messages with the word York, and between 5 and 6 we'll have all the reaction to today's match which is currently 0-0, and Scarborough have another throw-in, as Marine, at times, really slicing the ball in all sorts of directions. Don't really look too composed in the midfield area. Colville plays to Brown, left midfield, now to Green, plays it into space for Maloney in his bright yellow highlighter green boots. Just imagine a steward's vest, that's the colour that they are. Here's Fielding though, winning the ball back for Marine, plays it along the floor towards Matthew McDonald, turns away from Maloney, then hits it forward down the centre, up towards Marsden, 35 yards from goal, wide now towards McDonald again, fed back towards the sitting midfielder of Fielding, and then Ash Hunter slips before Tier can get to him. Samuel Smith, wearing 3, just dragging the ball in field, back towards Ash Hunter, who's in a rather unorthodox place on the park. The left or right winger is currently sat almost in like the number 6 role of midfield as he just tries to orchestrate the play. Fielding, he's going to hit back to Barnsley. Tier pressurised him, now Green does so, and Arte's run for Barnsley to force the ball long. Willedge and Newell go toe to toe. Marine players win the ball as Samuel Smith tries to feed a ball through, and I was expecting the whistle to blow because Rio Allen has basically body checked him. He's just thrown his body in front of him, and Samuel Smith ran into him like a red brick wall, and it's a free kick just inside the Scarborough half on the left.
Yeah, that bit of play, passage of play all built up from the foul on Dom Tier the referee didn't give. It looked like a foul, didn't give it. They had a good little bit, 5-minute spell, a couple of minutes worth of possession. Didn't look as if it were going to go anywhere, but it sort of sprung up from that sort of miss foul, I think, by the referee. He sort of acknowledged that he thought it wasn't a foul, but it looked like it to me.
And Samuel Smith just walking away a bit sore, I think, as he sort of hobbles back towards the halfway line, as we're going to see Ash Hunter deliver direct towards the box. 5 in green shirts waiting around the 18-yard line, and it is clipped off the right foot beyond Will Thornton, who's over on the right side of the box. Back out then towards McDonald, who's scanning and assessing. He might even have a pop because he likes to hit them from range. Drags the ball away from Maloney. He's running into a dead alley. Colville gets a tackle in. Marine still have it with Ash Hunter, running the wrong way at the moment, but on halfway he has fed it back to Samuel Smith from the presence of Stephen Walker, who was going on the press. A few oohs ring out around us because it was a very, very tight angle to pass the ball, and it's not the first time he's tried that, Samuel Smith. He's confident in playing the more difficult pass to find a teammate in green. McDonald now clipping it out wide towards Anson, tries to chest it in on that right hand side. Brown stands in his way. Anson playing right back but forward up towards the corner flag, wins the throw-in for his side as Brown just kicks it off out for play.
Yeah, that gives an opportunity for one of the centre halves to at least come up, and like I say, this is what they're open to get. They're open to get free kicks, corners, throw-ins, to try and put as much pressure as they can on Scarborough this half.
You do say that it's an invitation for the centre-halves, but I'm looking at both of them. Wardle is on the halfway line, and then Drysdale not interested, and they're playing short from the throw-in, and it's been kicked out of play by Marsden in green, so a waste of a set piece. I'm really surprised by that, actually.
Me too. Yeah, I'm quite surprised that they didn't send they did the 2 previous long throws.
Is that a sign potentially on the pitch in the mind that they are conscious of Scarborough Athletic being able to break away quite quickly?
Yeah, possibly, and I think they probably think that will it be worth saving their energy for the second half where they're going to have the wind in their favour.
Brown, left back area, ball's going to wander out for a throw. Let me bring you some scores from the National League North because we're past half an hour. It's Fylde 0, Hereford 0. Telford are 1-0 down at home to Worksop. Buxton 5, Alfreton 0. Chester 0, Bedford 1. It's 0-0 between Chorley and Merthyr. Curzon lead 1-0 against Peterborough Sports at home. It's Darlington 2, Southport 0. And then everywhere else is 0-0 at the moment in the National League North, including here between Scarborough Athletic and Marine. Not really too much developing in that latest phase for Scarborough as they threw it up towards halfway, and it's been miscontrolled and out. Anson will take it for Marine, brought down by Matthew McDonald in a right midfield position. Colville is battling away to win it back. He's done so, and then he tries to get Walker playing away on the spin, and that will be just hit out of play by Wardle over the wall and into the rugby ground that's alongside here at Queensgate. And a throw-in again for Scarborough Athletic. So the game is toing and froing a little bit. Scarborough have had some pressure, then Marine have some pressure. And now it's Scarborough's turn again with this throw-in.
Yeah, it's not really sustained pressure for either side, is it, really, to be honest? And
no.
There's just a lack of quality going forward at the moment.
Neither keeper really tested. Ball swung in there by Harry Green. It's a high and hanging one, and Barnsley gets his hands to it, arched his back a long way as well. And he took that in very nicely indeed.
Yeah, that's hopeful rather than trying to pick out anybody. I know it's difficult sometimes that way, but it's just a hopeful crossing rather than anything else.
Yeah, plenty of height to it, wasn't there? It just wasn't whipped in at all. It was, as you say, Darren, a more hit and hope as Thornton nods the ball back towards Ryan Whitley in black. Newell has a little press from that. The centre half split, and Thornton can bring the ball away. In towards Alex Brown. Green has dropped into a centre midfield role to allow Colville to go on. Ball's played down the left-hand side, dealt with by Marine, and then cleared out of play for a throw-in. Jonathan Greening, bobble hat, thick coat, definitely approaching winter, if Jonathan Greening's gone for the full winter attire. 0-0 the scoreline here, as he just has a little word with one or two in red shirts, but Marine win it back again. McDonald clearing forward up towards George Newell and out for a throw-in from Scarborough's point of view. Good hassling and defending by Will Thornton over there on the just tucking in to that space which Alex Brown had just left behind for the moment, and now they'll throw it back towards halfway. So I mean, the paper that I normally write on is looking quite blank at the moment, but the only real noticeable thing about today's game is that Scarborough probably had more set-piece chances, which haven't really come to anything. There's no big saves from either Whitley or Barnsley after 35 minutes, Darren Foreman.
No, and the keeper looked edgy first 10, 15 minutes, and we haven't really taken advantage of that, unfortunately. But the advantage of being against the wind second half is the ball won't run through to the keeper as much, and our pace, hopefully, especially on this left-hand side when Harry Green will be more beneficial.
Yeah, Marine coming into this game with 2 wins in 8 matches, and they've netted in their last 6 outings as Marine go direct from a throw-in, flicked once or twice, and then hooked away by Dom Tier inside his own box as Scarborough now want to come away. Green goes down. He looked like he went down quite theatrically to me. There was quite a big lunge after the contact was made, but a yellow card has come out. Wardle is trotting back into his defensive areas, and a yellow card comes out for Marine, third one of the day.
I don't think he could complain much. I think he actually was one of those good ones for his team, because I think Harry Green was away from him and we were on the counter-attack. So I think that was took one for the team there.
The gentleman in front of us asking his friends if they want to get a drink in at half time, and I'm surprised that a few are maybe heading towards the town bar end already, because maybe the feeling on the terraces is they aren't going to miss too much here with 8 minutes of normal time to play. Hunter scuffs one again into the air, so Tier can bring it down. Walker off balance, dropping in 30 yards. Oh dear, Will Thornton's gone down from a collision with Newell, and Thornton has stayed on the deck, so he's going to need some physio treatment here, I would suspect. The centre half doesn't go down without being in pain, and he's rolled onto his back, but he's clutching around the head. Newell has gone over to see if he's okay, and so too has the Marine defender Drysdale. Free kick goes Scarborough's way.
Yeah, I think Newell just caught with a stray elbow there, but also I think as he went down he landed on his back, so whether it's a twofold, but it definitely caught a stray elbow initially.
Well, I can see him, he's wiping his brow at the moment, but then obviously when you land on your shoulder, I've done that even in part foot, you do it, it's like whiplash, isn't it? Yeah. Really sore. Yeah,
it was a flailing arm rather than a deliberate elbow. I think it was one of those ones he was using the leverage of his arms to get up above Will Thornton. Thornton leapt well and got there first, and thought he caught him with a flailing arm rather than a straight elbow.
Opportunity to mention that Will Thornton is on his 150th National League North game this afternoon as well, combined with his time at Guiseley before joining Scarborough Athletic, and he's up there in the top 10 appearance makers of the reincarnation of Scarborough Athletic. Well, Edgy's up there too, and then so too is Maloney and Colville. As plays are back underway, Thornton looks okay as he manages to get a little tackle in. As Fielding, centre midfielder for Marine, will try and play the ball through. Colville there to hoover up on the left hand side, and then they try and play away. As we've got 6 minutes of normal time. Rio Allen trying to collect in a a through ball. I just feel that Scarborough are just bypassing the midfield a little bit here. Either the midfielders are dropping too deep and they've got to try and connect back again with the front three, but I just feel like Scarborough, compared to previous occasions, can look after the ball a little bit better and just not worry about trying to get it up the pitch too quickly, as Waldron and Maloney have got in the way of each other, and McDonald now able to run down the left hand side 30 yards from goal, now runs into the area, plays a low ball in, and it's swept away by Brown. It had gone past Newell, but Anson was coming in on the back post, and then back to Fielding. Scuffs his shot along the deck, a daisy cutter, and now a bit of scrambling from Scarborough Athletic season, get the ball away partially via Thornton, and then flick back in by Marine, but Whitley's there to just gobble up. Bit messy, bit bitty, isn't it?
It's just about summed the first half up. I think it's been a bit bitty, scrappy. Better from Scarborough, better.
Here they come. Green trying to get the through ball in behind for Dom Tier, who scored last year against Marine on this weekend in Merseyside that time. But Finlay Barnsley, the Marine goalkeeper, commanding his box well on that occasion. No Liam Whelan today for Marine, as he is serving a suspension. Marine have had 2 red cards, and they actually have had the second most bookings in the league, and they've already had a couple this afternoon in the first half, as Whitley collects a loose ball. And let's see if Scarborough can build through the thirds from back to front, as Weleji plays towards Waldron, the right back, given back towards Weleji into Colville, who drops in the midfield. Back to Weleji right hand side. He's just looking really far forward, even though he had Waldron 5 yards available in front of him. Maloney's ball towards Thornton now, as they've moved it back towards the defence. Out now towards Brown. Infield again to Colville. Marine sitting off at the moment, which is maybe why Scarborough aren't able to just progress as quickly as they would like. Maloney between defenders, again looking for the big diagonal. He's testing Waldron, who's managed to pluck it out very well in the air. Rio Allen trying to hold on to it.
Got to be stronger there, got to be stronger.
It was marshalled by Samuels Smith. Marine with a long ball forward, and Weleji on the case, nodded back by Tier towards Borough's number 2. Into Colville. Better. Allen, right wing. First time he's had a chance to run in field. Allen into the box now. Takes a shot on. It was heading towards target, but it's well blocked by the Marine captain Wardle, who is still down on the deck. But now it's with Green. 20 yards from goal. A chance to shoot. Does so wide of the target. He chanced his arm there. Shooting through traffic. Barnsley was across to deal with it if necessary. But that is what Scarborough need. They just need to shoot on sight a little bit more, and Allen had a little run towards the area to show a bit of promise for the second half.
I want to see the 2 wide players join in with the front man Walker. He's isolated at the moment. They've got to get beyond him, and also they've got to get and join in with him. That's where we're going to get the joy, because Rio Allen's left footed, Harry Green's right footed. They're going to get opportunities on the inside, but they've got to go and join in and come off the wing to go and join in.
Wardle, the centre half, in the meantime, severely winded by the looks of things. He was very slow to his feet on the to the right of the penalty spot. He's now back up on his feet, but blowing his cheeks as he's caught it in a precious area, that block.
Yeah, doesn't want the magic sponge, that's for sure.
Nope, not for sure. As Barnsley will get the game back underway. We've got a couple of minutes of normal time. It's 0-0 here between Scarborough Athletic and Marine on FM and via BBC Sounds. If you need to pop out, take us with you on BBC Sounds, says Scarborough Athletic. Recover possession with Colville in the centre circle area. Tries to play it towards Rio Allen. To be fair, I have to give kudos to Samuel Smith, the left back. I think he's hassled Rio Allen very well on this near side as they go to war again. Fed back towards Colville this time, who lifted the ball forward. A free header for Wardle. Maloney now covers. Allen trying to push it infield towards Colville. And then Marine just aren't looking after the ball themselves, but it's given away by Maloney. And McDonald now can run down the middle. 25 yards from goal. Takes a shot on wide of the target. To the small ripple of applause from the Marine fans behind the goal at the Town Bar end. But I have to say, Maloney, not once but twice but thrice today, he's given the ball away in some sensitive areas.
In the wrong areas as well, to be honest, and that's given them opportunity. And thankfully for Scarborough, it was a scuff shot rather than a committed one.
Here comes Green, however. They've won the ball high, Scarborough Athletic. Green trying to run at that line of back four in Green. Ash Hunter trying to get the ball away, and it's a scuffed one, but through it goes towards Gregson. Two sides who are showcasing not a lot of quality in their build-up play this afternoon, as the ball goes back to Wardle on halfway. Now for Fielding. Fielding just rotates and looks for a ball down the centre into Gregson. Takes a couple of touches as he gets it out of his feet into Anson. There's going to be a couple of minutes of added time at the end of this first half. Ball's delivered in by Marine, looking for Newell, and then hooked away by Dom Tier. Anywhere will do in that predicament. Ball's coming back. Gregson can't get the ball out of his feet, and then it's pushed behind by Maloney, and that's going to be a corner kick.
Yeah, I'm not sure he needed to get as much on that. Maybe left foot just out to the byline. That was a good example we've just been on about though, Fletch. Harry Green joined in off the wing, came inside. That's where I think they're going to get a little joy, especially in the second half when the ball's going to hold up.
Making his way over to take the corner is Ash Hunter. Marine with tall presence inside the box. About 5 in there at the moment, scattered around the centre of the penalty spot. Looking at Scarborough, Thornton has got his eye at the moment on Wardle as the ball will be delivered in, and Drysdale got the connection, but it harmlessly wide of the target. It was never troubling Whitley's goal, and behind for a goal kick as we've played 30 seconds of those 2 minutes. I have to say, what do you the feeling from both dressing rooms? Marine will obviously be happy that it's 0-0 at the break. I would suspect you would always take that on an away day, but for Scarborough Athletic, they haven't really, for me. They've shown glimpses of stamping down authority, but I feel like they've just gone away from their normal methods of promoting the ball forward as Thornton gets pushed through the back by Newell, and that's a free kick in the middle of Scarborough's own half. Yeah,
it just looks like we've got a little bit of a overhang from the previous 2 results. Confidence will take a little bit of a bashing, but we just haven't quite been on played as well as we have done in previous games.
Samuel Smith, his header up in the box is a weak one because Scarborough have got it back again. Colville trying to feed it towards Harry Green. Just think the decision making on the ball at times from Scarborough, they had opportunities just to be a little bit more simple and careful with it as the half-time whistle goes here at Queensgate and the players trudge off. 0-0 at the break. Not too many clear-cut chances of note for either team. Harry Green striking from the edge of the area. You could probably argue that Matty McDonald going close for Marine is probably the best chance when Maloney had given it away. But it just feels like Scarborough have gone away from their normal passing play at Queensgate, and it's no wonder at half-time, Darren Foreman, it's 0-0.
Yeah, the game's lacking a bit of quality. There's been a lot of huff and puff, but not a lot of quality, and hopefully that bit of quality is going to come from one of the Scarborough players.
So from the 11 that was picked today, they only made one change, and that was obviously the enforced one of Alex Perver and Rio Allen coming in. Do you think it's obvious that they're missing Alan Perver today?
I think that I'm missing a bit of Perver because he's neat, tidy, gets his foot in. We spoke about briefly. I'd probably like to see a bit more of Myers. From Zane Myers from a Scarborough point of view. I thought he looked good last week when he came against Telford. Did a little bit as well against South Shields. I'd like to have a little look at him a little bit more, maybe more than the 5, 10, 15 minutes he's been getting.
Yeah, we'll see how they go in the second half, because looking at the way that they've gone about trying to build play, there's been a lot of big diagonal balls that they've tried to really get at both fullbacks. Now on the right hand side of Marine's shape, you've got a centre half by trade in Anson who will hoover stuff up, but then the out and out fullback of Samuel Smith, who they're clearly targeting today with Waldron and Allen on the right, he's having a good performance from a Marine point of view. He's winning a lot of balls in the air, and he's also got a bit of pace to get away down the left.
He's the one player in their defence that has got some pace. So like I said, Scarborough, the 2 wide players have got to go and join in. They've got to join in the central areas rather than staying out wide. I get that it's a 4-3-3 Scarborough, and they've got to try and stay wide at times, but have a little swap over, maybe have a little go the other way round.
The 3 injured players that are missing today in Jake Hull, Richie Bennett and Alex Wiles are making their way over towards the dugouts now. Alex Wiles with a big boot on after the news that he's suffered an ankle ligament injury, and they're expecting a 4-week absence for Alex Wiles. It's all smiles from them. I think it'll be calm heads in the dressing room at the break, and we'll see how Scarborough Athletic respond in the second 45. A reminder as well, at full time, give us your reaction. Text 81333 and 08000 321 333 via WhatsApp. Start your messages with the word York. It's half time here at Queensgate. It's Scarborough Athletic 0, Marine 0.
Daytimes on BBC Radio York.
I'd love Stacey Solomon to come and sort my life out.
That'd be amazing. She'd sort my brain out as well. Do you know? It's 2 for 1.
Beck Homer.
Moving house as well, it's been like boxes and boxes to sort through. I'm just like, why have I kept that pair of giant glasses?
Yeah.
Joanita Musisi.
Do you know what I'm thinking about? The cowboy hats that I've got in my cupboard.
Different random
what do I need
things.
them for?
Yeah, well, you never know when you're going to need a cowboy hat, Joe.
Weekdays from 10. Daytimes on BBC Radio York. Every game live and getting you closer to your club.
BBC Radio York Sport.
It's BBC Radio York Sport. Pete Spencer here in the studio, taking you through half-time, second half commentary to come of Scarborough Athletic against Marine here on BBC Radio York. But it's goalless at the break at Queensgate Stadium in Bridlington. We'll get an update shortly from the exercise stadium with Tim Steer and Paul Bolland. Thank you very much to listeners that are joining us now on DAB Digital Radio. Let's get an update on your game between Harrogate Town and Newport County. Tim Steer.
And Harrogate Town trail League Two's bottom side Newport County by a single goal to nil. Courtney Baker-Richardson with the goal. It was after Newport County were awarded a free kick 25 yards out centre field. The free kick was taken. Mark Oxley with a really good save down to his right hand side, pushed it away from goal out towards the wing as you would expect a keeper to do, but it was Newport that reacted the quickest. They got to the ball first, played it back across the area, and Baker-Richardson with a simple tap in from about 2 yards out at the near post. As far as a reply, a riposte from Harrogate Town, there's not been much really. There's been Conor McAleany, who's looked quite bright. He had an opportunity where he cut in onto his right foot just inside the area. His shot was heading for the left corner of the goal, but it was blocked by the head of a Newport defender. The rebound fell for Duke McKenna, but he couldn't quite get the shot away in time before a Newport defender came in to make the block and clear their lines. For Harrogate Town, there was a bit more huff and puff as the half wore on, but nothing really to trouble Jordan Wright in the Newport County goal. And it just feels like watching Harrogate Town at the minute that maybe that psychological edge has gone a little bit. The confidence isn't quite the same as it was even just 2 or 3 weeks ago when they were playing the ball first time, not really thinking about it too much, not dilly-dallying as much, but those nerves associated with a 3-game losing run seem to be creeping in a little bit to their play because they're a bit too slow at times. This game is definitely there for the taking. Newport haven't done anything extraordinary really. They've just done the basics very well, but if Harrogate Town can step up in the second half, this game is definitely there for the taking. But based on recent weeks, if they concede a second goal, you do fear for them. Half time, Harrogate Town 0, Newport County 1.
Thank you very much to Tim Steer and Paul Bolland there on DAB Digital Radio. We'll be back with them for second half commentary shortly here on BBC Radio York. Elsewhere today, further down the football pyramid today, locally in the Northern Counties East League Premier Division at half-time, it's Eckershill United 1, Knaresborough Town 0. In Division 1, Harrogate Railway 1, Winterton Rangers 0 at Station View, and Ilkley Town 1, Selby Town 0. We'll give you a full rundown of the half-time scores shortly. Elsewhere for now in Rugby League in the Ashes first test at Wembley, England are 14-0 down against Australia. 2 converted tries, one from Reece Walsh and one from Angus Crichton as well. Nathan Cleary has converted both of them and added a penalty. So let's run you through some of the half-time scores elsewhere, starting with the Premier League. 2 games today at 3 o'clock in the Premier League. It's currently 1-1 between Chelsea and Sunderland, and Newcastle United 1, Fulham 0. Let's have a look at things in the Championship. 3 early kickoffs finished. Coventry 3, Watford 1. Watford went down to 10 men in that one just before half-time. Ipswich 1, West Brom 0. Portsmouth 0, Stoke 1. So these are now half-time scores in the Championship. Blackburn 0, Southampton 1. Bristol City 1, Birmingham 0. Derby 1, QPR 0. Hull 0, Charlton 0. Middlesbrough 0, Wrexham 1. Millwall 1, Leicester City 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Oxford United 2, Sheffield Wednesday, of course, going into administration earlier this week. Swansea 1, Norwich City 1. 2 early kickoffs for you in League 1 finished Bolton 1, Cardiff City 0, and Mansfield 1, Wigan 1. So now half-time in League 1 as things stand. AFC Wimbledon 0, Burton Albion 0, Barnsley 0, Rotherham 0. Barnsley, of course, the next opponents there for Stuart Maynard's side. South Yorkshire Derby goalless at the moment at Oakwell. Leyton Orient 0, Lincoln City 0, Northampton 0, Luton 0, Peterborough 1, Blackpool 1, Reading 0, Doncaster 0, Stevenage 1, Bradford City 1, and Wycombe 1, Huddersfield 0. Huddersfield have had a red card in that one. Into League 2 then, Cheltenham 1, Walsall 0 is a full-time score, as is Fleetwood Town 2, Accrington Stanley 1, Barrow 1, Barnet 0. Barrow have had a man sent off in that one though, but they have the lead at home. Bromley 0, MK Dons 1, Crawley 1, Bristol Rovers 0. 11 minutes of injury time there at the end of the first half. Not sure what's gone on there at Crawley. Crewe 2, Grimsby Town 2, Gillingham 1, Salford 2, Harrogate 0, Newport County 1, as you've been hearing on DAB Digital Radio. Just gone actually half-time at Crawley against Bristol Rovers. Notts County 0, Cambridge United 0, Oldham 0, Shrewsbury 0, Swindon 0, Colchester 0, and Tranmere 0, Chesterfield 1. So just rounding things up at the moment, half-time in the National League. Of course, earlier on, York City drew 1-1 away at FC Halifax Town. So at half-time at the moment in the National League, it's Braintree 0, Altrincham 0. Altrincham, of course, sacked their manager Phil Parkinson earlier in the week. Eastleigh 0, Morecambe 0, Forest Green Rovers 1, Boreham Wood 1, Gateshead 0, Truro 2. So Truro, on their 920-mile trip to Gateshead, are 2-0 up at the moment. Hartlepool 1, Solihull Moors 0, Scunthorpe 2, Aldershot 1, Southend 0, Brackley Town 0, Wealdstone 1, Sutton United 2, Woking 0, Rochdale 0, and Yeovil 1, Carlisle 0. The late kickoff today in the National League is between Tamworth and Boston United. So you're up to date with all the latest scores. Let's turn our attention to Rugby League for the time being, because it's been a busy week for the York Knights, having announced the permanent signing of Danny Richardson and also the re-signing of Jesse D, and also the Australian prop forward Jack Martin, who's back for 2026 after signing a contract extension. The 24-year-old started 31 games for the Knights last season, scoring 6 tries and, of course, winning the 1895 Cup at Wembley and also the Championship League Leaders Shield. Jack Martin also helped the club reach their first ever Championship Grand Final. We caught up with Jack yesterday and began by asking how it felt to be staying with York Knights.
It was, a no-brainer for me. It's been, I've enjoyed my time at York. It's been just over a year now since I've joined the club, and it's been a blast. So it was a no-brainer to re-sign for the club.
And the club have made light of this, but you did let the cat out of the bag a little early on, didn't you, on social media?
Yeah, I did a little bit. My good mate Andy Atkinson, he when the signing of Paul Vaughan got announced, he was saying, I'm hoping it's not at the expense of Jack Martin, and I just wanted to give him the reassurance that I wasn't going anywhere. And then that grabbed a bit of attention on Vaughan's on his signing post. I think I stole his thunder a bit there.
But it just shows you, though, how much you do love your time at York, that you were so keen to get that out there.
Yeah, definitely. I'd been trying to come over to the UK and play for a little bit now, and York were the first team to give me that opportunity. So yeah, there's no way I could picture myself anywhere else. And now that we're locked in for the Super League next year, it's even better.
Well, you mentioned there about maybe stealing slightly the thunder of Paul Vaughan. How much are you looking forward to playing alongside him, though?
Oh, mate, someone of his calibre and his resume and what he's done in the game, it's going to be massive for me. Just to learn, I guess, we're going into that full-time training now, so I'll just be picking his brain day in, day out, and just trying to just better myself as a player, I suppose.
He's also played for New South Wales in the state of origin, 2018 and 2019, and Queensland lad, so I'm sure that'll be a topic of conversation for you.
Yeah, I'll definitely let him know about it and make my presence as a Queenslander known to him, that's for sure.
Is that going to be your introduction?
I think so, yeah. I'll say, hey, mate, I'm Jack from Queensland. I don't really like you this time of year. So for those 9 weeks of the year, I think we'll be on bad terms. But after that, we're all good, I reckon.
I'm sure you will. Just lay the ground rules very early on.
That's
Jack.
it. Yeah. Yep. Bit of housekeeping.
6 tries for you in all competitions last season as well. Is that your best season in terms of scoring as a professional?
Mate, that is, I've never scored that many tries in 1 year. I think back in 2023, I got a double in one game, and that was it for that year. And then last year, I managed to get just the one from a ridiculous little grubber. I don't know how I ended up with the ball on 5th and last, but we're over in, I think it was Whitehaven. I think we're up by 30. I got the ball 5th and last, and I had nothing to lose really. So I put a little grubber in. I'm just glad the fullback fumbled it because it come off the boot pretty red hot, and she was definitely going back to York. I reckon if that fullback didn't touch it, but yeah, 6 tries this year is the most I've ever scored. So.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if you can manage to bag one in Super League. How excited are you about the prospect of playing in Super League?
Oh, just being the first York team, I guess, being a part of history is amazing. And then just to go back on that big stage, mixing it with the big dogs like Hull KR, Wigan. I'm really excited. So I'm pretty sure like all the boys are as well. So yeah, we'll be up for it.
Where were you when you heard the news?
I was actually at the pub with one of my mates, having a few beers, and then we got the message that we were going to be in the Super League next year. So we went back to the bar and got a few more drinks and just kept going.
I was going to say that's the perfect place to find out and celebrate, really, isn't it?
I know, mate. I was just nervous as everything. I feel like that if we had won in that grand final, I would have been like, yep, there's nothing stopping us now from being in the Super League next year. So I was sort of sweating bullets. And then all the stuff with Darren Lockyer and Jason Demetrio going to London and some of the players they were signing just didn't really sit too well with me. But yeah, it couldn't happen at a better place being at the pub when we got the news. So
you mentioned there about some of the players that maybe London are signing. What about the squad that York are assembling for Super League? What do you make to that at the minute?
Mate, I think we're not just going to be with the people we're signing here. I don't think we're there just to make up the numbers. I think we'll be a genuine competing team that's going to compete. We had Hull KR early on last season in the Challenge Cup and got touched up there, but just the squad that we had at the back end of this year compared to the team we had in that game, it's a really, really competitive side. And then these signings that we've got coming in, they're really well-established Super League players, so I think it's going to do us really, really well going into next year.
That is the York Knights Australian prop forward Jack Martin speaking to Tim Steele. You can hear the full interview online via BBC Sounds. Right, it's time to split our frequencies once again here on BBC Radio York. If you want Harrogate Town against Newport County, it is on DAB Digital Radio. If you want Scarborough Athletic against Marine, you can join James Fletcher and former Scarborough striker Darren Foreman on FM and on BBC Sounds. So that's your choice of listening. Let's make your mind up time.
Every game live and getting you closer to your club.
BBC Radio York Sport.
Thank you, Pete. Welcome back, everybody. No changes at half-time here at Queensgate, where it's Scarborough Athletic 0, Marine 0 at the moment. And I have to say, the first 45 minutes didn't really have too many clear-cut chances in it. So I imagine, of the two managers, Jonathan Greening will be the one slightly less happy than Bobby Grant, his opposing counterpart this afternoon. But we'll see how it goes in the second 45. The game is back underway. And Maloney immediately trying to ignite Scarborough Athletic, who are attacking towards the town bar end in this second half. Quick run through of the team from the South Shields game. There is one change as Alex Perver, who is suspended, is out of the side today, and Rio Allen has come in to replace him but staying out wide. So Whitley the goalkeeper, then it's Waldron, Thornton, Wiledji and Brown across the back, In midfield, it's Maloney and Colville operating in Perver's role. Tier ahead of them too, with Allen and Green on either wing, and Walker is the striker. The options from the bench: Duckworth, Myers, Chapman and Marshall. Substitute goalkeeper Romero unnamed on the A4 sheet that we've got in front of us. Marine have made no changes this second half, well underway. And Whitley, who's got the ball at his feet just outside his box on the left hand side, towards Will Edgy as the defenders split. And Will Edgy will now try and lift one forward for Domtier to try and run in behind on the right hand side, and he's done well. He gets away momentarily from Sam Fielding, but he regains a goal side position and taps it out of play for a corner kick. Good pressure.
Good ball with Kieran Will Edgy, and Domtier just getting into that hole in behind Stephen Walker, and that's where he does his best work. He's definitely a late comer into the box. That's what we really need, and we need a bit more of that.
The attendance has just been read out on the Tannoy system. We will check social media as well. It was a little bit unclear to us here on this right hand side. Ball played into the box. Well, free header for Gregson, but he's headed it behind for another set piece. So I count this as the 8th corner that Scarborough Athletic have had today. Marine have been accustomed to defending lots of set pieces. They had to defend 12 of them against Worksop, and they've dealt with them accordingly so far, as it's whipped in again. This time Barnsley with one-fisted punch out of the box. Maloney trying to set it back in, and out towards Brown on halfway. Curving ball out to the right-hand side. Samuel Smith, well, he goes sliding in aggressively to get the ball away from Colville, and another corner now goes the way of the home side. Didn't know why Samuel Smith went diving in like he did there.
Yeah, he didn't really need to make a challenge here. Scarborough won't be complaining because it's gone out for a corner, but yeah, it was a bit rash.
It was a bit like when you play on the PlayStation and you maybe push the wrong button and you end up booming the ball out of play for a corner. They've gone short this time, Scarborough, and it's with Colville in the area on the right, twisting and turning. He's got the ball to Green, heavy touch however, and that means Marine can sweep the ball away. So throw in.
Don't mind that though. I don't mind that, just to mix up a little bit rather than chucking in. It was half decent, just didn't quite get out of his feet, unfortunately. And then heavy touch.
Scarborough fans to our right hand side just getting into voice, as over on the far side Waldron takes the throw in. Little ball dropped into the feet of Harry Green and then Colville as they try and knit it together in a tight spot. 4 in Green around them. Right midfield position. Green finds Waldron. Back to Willedgy as they go into space. Newell, the number 9 for Marine, pressurises as Wardle wins it back for Marine, and now into the feet of Fielding. He's going to try and get Marine rotated from left to right. Now to Marston. Marston back in the side for Marine after his 1-game suspension. Sort of hacked forward by Fielding, but effective as he blazes it out towards the left-hand side. Hunter delivers in. Waldron, however, there to win a free header. Rio Allen can't trap the ball, so Marine coming back, and it's with Hunter. Chips one into the box, brought down by McDonald, who is judged to be offside. Newell looks a bit perplexed by that, but it is a free kick.
Yeah, he came back from an offside position to chest it. Good bit of play on the wing, though. And they were patient enough, and then they put the ball in the box.
Thornton, he's going to go now towards Brown. And out the back, Thornton with the ball at feet. I have to say that the pitch is looking a little bit troublesome for Scarborough Athletic, as Willedgy passed halfway but travelling strongly, still going at the ball at feet, pokes it out to the right hand side for Rio Allen. He will have to try and take a touch to turn back towards the penalty area, and has done with a ball back to Waldron, so them two combine. Waldron into the box, tries to hit it in low, and behind again for yet another corner for Marine to defend. But are they going to grow stronger and stronger with each set piece Scarborough have, or are they going to find a way through this stubborn green wall?
They're going to have to be patient this half. Going to have to be patient, and we're patient there. Good bit of build-up play by Jack Waldron and Rio Allen. Yeah, and got himself into a good position there, Jack Waldron.
He's been my best player so far today, Jack Waldron. The way he's hung in the air to claim some headers. In comes the delivery over Waldron's head, and there's a problem inside the box. Newell has been kicked on the back of the head, And I think Colville went in for an acrobatic effort and he caught Newell as well. So thankfully both players are getting up to their feet pretty quickly. It was Tier, I beg your pardon, who went in for that reminiscent effort that he had at Kings Lynn. But it's just a free kick for Marine. And just to bring you up to date with our DAB scoreline, Harrogate Town 0, Newport County 2 at the wrong end of League 2. Our Newport, bottom of the table at the start of the day. And Harrogate are being drawn towards the bottom two. It's 0-0 here as we wait Barnsley's kick away, the 6'5" goalie in his all yellow kit. Ooh, Thornton and Brown let the ball drop to Marston. This is dangerous. It's McDonald with the shot, but it flies over the crossbar, and the couple of dozen or so Marine supporters who've made the journey clap with intent, because that time, I think Thornton or Brown, either one of them, should have had more authority in dealing with that situation.
Got stuck between two stools, a pair of them, to be honest, and didn't do either. It was yours, no yours sort of
situation.
Yeah.
As Thornton does give the ball a clearance forward up towards Walker. Newport have gone 3-0 up now in North Yorkshire against Harrogate. As Rio Allen here has the ball 20 yards from goal, tries to square it across for Tier because he saw an opening. Marine shut the door, however, and now they want to come forward, and they're coming forward with a bit of pace in their feet. As a slip on the far side from Fielding sees the ball quite comedically go through towards Ryan Whitley, who rolls it out towards Kieran Willegy. It's a game lacking quality, isn't it?
But I should have got nosebleed there, I think. Unfortunately, didn't know what to do with it when he got it.
Yeah, Marine operating a three-man midfield, two sitters, however, as the ball is now worked down towards Walker. We haven't seen him unleash a chop of any sort yet, but he's going to win the ball high, and he's giving it now towards Dom Tier, into the box on the right, tries to cut it back to Colville, and he couldn't find anyone in a red shirt. Walker has stayed down, by the way, on the right flank. I saw the heads drop into hands around us here in the stand as Scarborough Athletic squander an opportunity. Meanwhile, Marine coming the other way with Gregson, 20 yards from goal, left of the D, now to Samuel Smith. Tries to drop it back now to Ash Hunter. There's four waiting in the area. Hunter away from Maloney, sets up to shoot, and he got right underneath it. The ball travels quite slowly through the air and wide of Whitley's goal. 0-0 it remains.
Yeah, game just needs a bit of it. Someone to do something. This has got the look of someone's going to get a penalty, or there's going to be a bad mistake, or there's going to be a bit of quality that's just going to separate the two sides.
Thornton will receive the ball short. Newell not too interested in the press as Willegy travels forward up towards halfway. Long ball forward which hangs in the air, bit of backspin from the wind. As Green operating now on the opposite side. That's the notable change, swapping wings. Marine have got a man down after that aerial contest. It was Hunter who went down. Green's got the ball at feet. Now to Maloney in a bit of space. Maloney with the touch on the left foot, 30 yards from goal down the middle. Travels left, slots it through to Allen. Allen could have maybe played it in first time, instead drops it back to Alex Brown. Brown near the corner flag, wants to deliver, and it's blocked and behind, and that will be another Scarborough Athletic corner.
Yeah, so it looks like Allen and Green have swapped
they have
top wings for now.
Swapped wings.
As the ball came back to him there, I think he had a good opportunity to sling it in first time, Rio Allen, but checked back on himself and then checked back onto his weaker foot, really.
So 10th corner of the day for Scarborough Athletic. Too short for Marine, as they do go short, Scarborough, with Harry Green trying to work into the area. Rides out one tackle, then shoots at the front post. And Brown nearly got a touch as well. Turned behind for yet another. Don't need to say it. Corner kick.
Got a little bit lucky there at Green, but it was a great ball in. Just needed a touch off anybody, really, defender or an attacker. Yeah, just mix it up a little bit. It's just good.
I do feel if Scarborough hit the back of the net, then they might just kick on, I have to say it. They'll get a bit of confidence as it's short again. Ball being played to the edge of the penalty area, but swept away by Marine. Whitley's come well forward, it's halfway, tries to arrow it back into the box, and that time Marine can duck underneath it with Fielding, and they can take the sting out of the game for a moment as it goes out for a goal kick. 0-0 it remains, and we've played 55 minutes, Darren Foreman.
Yeah, it's a game of attrition at the moment, isn't it? You know, neither side look as if they want to take control of the game. You know, it's still very bitty, lacking a bit of quality, but all it takes is someone to just step up to the plate and just produce that little bit of quality we're looking for.
Be more red cards than goals at the start of the second half across the National League North. Let me just give you a quick run through. Fylde lead 1-0 at home against Hereford. It's Telford 1, Worksop 1. Buxton already looking home and dry against Alfreton. 5-0 they lead in Derbyshire. Bedford are 1-0 up away at Chester, but down to 10 men. Chorley are 1-0 down at home to Merthyr, and the home side have lost a player as well. Curzon 1, Peterborough 0. Darlington 2, Southport 0. It's still 0-0 at Kidderminster, Kings Lynn and Oxford City. Macclesfield leading at home against South Shields. It would be their first defeat of the season if it remains that way. 0-0 it remains here. Newell collects the ball from a long ball forward by Marine. They put it into the area. Marsden though has to track across to this near side touchline because it was just weighted in behind him. Brown holding on to his feet and then times the tackle well, and he can bring the ball away. Tries to get it down the line to Walker. Anson covers it off, and that will be a throw-in for Scarborough Athletic. Just seen the attendance on social media, 835.
Still hedging back down a wee bit, and unfortunately, but no, okay, we've had a couple of dodgy results, but still like to see a few more pods here.
We'll have a bit more of a discussion in that remark later, because I've done the maths on the attendances so far this season in comparison to last year, given the chairman has made it be known that he needs more fans through the gates to help the club financially. As Green, right wing area, a couple of step overs, then tries to deliver. It's blocked, and now Marine want to come away. They've been aggressive and they've probably just won the physical element of today's contest, but then they've not had as much quality with the ball at feet of Scarborough Athletic. But then again, I don't think Scarborough really have shown too much in the way of their regular passing play.
I'm not sure they got abundance of quality. No disrespect to Marine, they set up a certain way. Their play isn't about individual skills, about team play by the looks of it. Scarborough got the individuals that can be with a bit better quality, but we just haven't shown it today.
Yeah, they lined up last year. Now, whether you want to look at it one way or the other, they actually lined up officially with a 3-5-1-1 when Neil Young was their manager. As Scarborough win it back, and Rio Allen looks to play the ball forward. And Anson,
we've just won it back there, and we're just giving it straight back to them. Take care with the pass there. Just make ground with it, and then look to make the pass. It made for me, I think he made to look the pass too a little bit early. I think just waited a little bit more quality on it.
Whitley rolls the ball out towards Alex Brown, down the line looking for Rio Allen. 0-0 it remains here at Queensgate. Yes, Colville has the ball into the feet of Brown, the left back, and he sends it forward as we see Newell take charge, and then the ball is floated forward up towards the area on the right hand side. Maloney has covered and manages to prevent it going out for a corner, but he sacrifices a throw in, so Marine will get a chance here from a set piece.
They're going to bring the centre half forward this time. Yeah, it looks like it. I think they fancy the south on this with a long throw.
They're also going to be making a change in a moment. They've decided there'll be a couple of changes for Bobby Grant, the Marine manager, who's quite a vocal voice on the touchline, so we're told by Jonathan Greening. He likes a big booming voice, but he seemed to be quite calm over on the far side today, whereas Jonathan Greening, hands in pockets, getting some information from Michael Ingham as a long throw in from Marine, headed by Tier up in the air. Newell tries to flick it back towards Fielding. Colville tries to use his body weight. Oh, that's a harsh decision against Marine. Colville went in
shoulder to shoulder, I thought, in my eyes, but I think Scarborough got lucky there.
I don't even think Fielding actually initiated a challenge, if we're being honest.
It looked like shoulder to shoulder, and Luca Colville stumbled and fell over.
0-0 it remains. Here on BBC Radio York, we'll have an hour's post-match verdict. We'll get the thoughts of Jonathan Greening and a player or two as Alex Brown sends the ball forward up towards Dom Tier. We'll go through the numbers of how he get in touch at the end of today's game in a moment, because Waldron has got the ball. He plays it back to Willedgie. Willedgie now trying to push it through towards Green, flicks it round the door towards Tier in the middle, and then tries to ignite a through ball to Waldron. It was probably the right idea, but maybe Waldron was just out of the frame of being in the right position for where Green placed it. As McDonald wins it back for Marine, and they're coming forward with Gregson now. There's two in front of him, but Scarborough for the first time in a while looks stretched. This is Marsden, ball into the area, Marine are in front. George Newell heads home from 3 yards, and the Marine supporters go nuts. First time they were stretched, as I just told you, and they haven't dealt with the cross, and Marine are in front. Scarborough Athletic, they're behind and staring 3 defeats in a row. It's Scarborough 0, Marine 1.
Got to say, great ball in out from the outside way. Scarborough just caught in position in the wrong area, and then they broke away very quickly. But he's the only man in the box, really. But a great ball in, and just a glancing header. Just as they were going to have to make a substitution, I thought initially Harry Green's pass out wide wasn't the right pass.
Yeah, Newell, the son of Mike Newell, former Football League manager and player, Premier League winner with Blackburn Rovers as well. He has been brought in from Welsh club Barla Town, where he got 39 goals, and he's looked quite ominous this afternoon. He hasn't really been too much in the game, and looking at Ryan Whitley's reaction to the centre halves and the defenders who walk away, there's a real sense of disgust really at how they've allowed Marine in so cheaply, because there hasn't been a lot of pressure. Looking at the subs that are going to be made, it's Ash Hunter who's going to be brought off, and coming on in his place will be Angela Popula, the former Buxton player from last year, so he's a bit pacey up front. And they haven't decided to change the shape, Marine, but Scarborough need to change the tempo as Thornton sends one forward and Rio Allen heads it in field. Marine lose the header. Allen, left wing position, plays now towards Alex Brown. Marine clear away. Thornton with Popula on his case straight away. The fresh legs, and the centre half has done well. Plays it back then towards Whitley. Pressurising is Matty McDonald. And they've cleared away up towards Jack Waldron. So 6 wins in a row at home, and that run is in serious jeopardy now for Scarborough Athletic, as Marine lead by a goal to 0. Thornton heads it on the 18-yard line back towards Maloney. He's just kicked it into space as Waldron has to go back to his corner flag, and he will now play the ball forward. Marine, though, now more confident that they lead 1-0. The game will surely open up at this point. Popula's dived down on the ball after a nudge, and that will be a free kick. But I have to say, I didn't expect Marine to go in front in the way that they did. I was expecting it to maybe come from something a little bit more messy, but they hit on the break very well as Walker tries to feed the ball up towards Harry Green. Change is needed now, I think. Darren Foreman.
It looks like he's going to bring Michael Duckworth on. I'm not sure where he's going to bring him on, but he's going to bring Michael Duckworth. Like we said it before, I'd like to see Jane Myers up and everyone out.
So looking at trying to get the gestures.
Maybe go to a 3 at the back and push the 2 full backs on.
Change it and try and smother in the middle. 3-5-2 perhaps.
Yeah, possibly. You know, get Ducky in between the two of them and get the 2 fullbacks pushed on quite a long way to play as wide players.
I have to say, like, going into some individual performances now from the attacking sense, I have not really seen anything from Rio Allen this afternoon, who just hasn't found that rhythm of a month ago. As Scarborough have got a couple of players down here, but Marine carrying on, crossing to the area. Colville gets it away. Now Waldron looks like he's clutching either his face or his shoulder, and Dom Tier has gone down as well. So the physio might have some work to do here.
Maloney, I think.
Maloney, sorry.
Yeah, Maloney went down as if he'd been shot, so that says to me possibly muscular. Whereas I think Jack Waldron got a stray elbow, I think, by the looks of it.
Well, Maloney is laying on his back with one leg raised in the air, the knee pointing up towards the clouds. And Thornton has gone over to him. Maloney has hands over his eyes at the moment, and it feels like he knows that there might be a rather serious injury for him.
Yeah, he sort of went down afterwards. There was no one round him, so that says to me it was either muscular or knee or something, rather than a challenge. I think Jack Waldron caught a stray elbow by the looks of it, but I'd be a little bit more concerned about the Maloney one. It looks ominous.
He's still on his back. Physio up on her feet at the moment, waiting for Maloney to get back. Marine have got their players over for a drink and some tactical input from Bobby Grant. Maloney currently sitting up now and trying to just relax his left ankle by the looks of things. As it's certainly not looking good. There was at one point he was clutching the back of the leg, and of course he has had issues with his hamstring, and now he's clutching it.
Yeah, it looked like he literally sort of shot up quickly, just pulled up quickly, and looks like hamstring.
Which is not good, because that was the injury that kept him out for so long of last year as well. So Maloney is walking over to the touchline, and it's patently obvious that his afternoon is over. So Chapman will come on into the midfield role. Duckworth is also coming on. So Waldron is staying out there because Jonathan Greening is giving him tactical input.
Is it Zane Myers? Looks like Zane Myers to me.
Actually it is.
Yeah, looks like to me. Yeah, I think it probably...
Forgive me.
Yeah, you're right, my friend. That's okay. He is sort of behind the linesman, shall we say. So Rio Allen's going to come off by looks of it.
Yeah, he is. So Maloney off and Rio Allen off. I went to Chapman thinking, given he's a centre mid, that's the like for like, but Myers will come on. Maloney gets the ripple of applause from the fans behind the technical areas, and Zane Myers will make his way on. So he goes over into the left wing position. Green on the right, Walker up front. So there remains a three. Colville and Tia together. Duckworth has gone over to the right hand side, and I know Waldron at the minute is off the pitch, so it'll be interesting to see where he slots in. But it could be something like a 3-4-3 shape, as Popula has conceded a foul from the drop ball towards Kieran Weleji, and they get that down and play. So quarter of the game to go. Scarborough 0, Marine 1 here on BBC Radio York. At the minute, all three of North Yorkshire's clubs that we cover are heading towards negative results. Myers, good spin on halfway, and now gets motoring forward. Real injection of pace. He will play it across now towards Dom Tia. Tia now goes towards Green. Green, left wing. Trying to get away from his nearest marker in Anson. That will go out of play for a throw-in on the far side, but Myers straight into the game and immediately giving an injection of pace.
Yeah, it's a good run of the ball, I think, but what we've seen of him, we haven't seen limited bits of him, but he runs with the ball confident when he's got it. He's got a bit of a trick about him, a little bit of pace.
It's the first time he's been called upon when the game is in jeopardy for Scarborough Athletic as well. He's either been brought on when the game is done and dusted, either positively or negatively for the Sea Dogs. Throw-in taken towards the penalty area for Borough, headed out by Marine, and Samuel Smith will clear away down the left-hand side looking for Popula. Duckworth tracking him. Waldron sits in the defence, so he will operate as a wing-back, given away. And Newell for Marine tries to cross in. There's nobody there in a green shirt, however. So Scarborough can now build again, but the game will obviously stretch now that there has been a goal in it. And there might be some more openings as Brown tries to carry on down the left-hand side. Well smothered, however, by Marine, this time through Drysdale, who's just moved out of the defence into the midfield areas. Back it goes towards Fraser Barnsley, the goalkeeper for Marine. He will clear the ball downfield. McDonald waiting to head it out of the sky. Thornton, though, charging in. Takes it down into Green, left midfield position, flicks it over his head. Colville will get it 25 yards from goal. He's got Walker to his left, picks him out. Walker drops it now to Tier on the edge of the area, trying to create a space to shoot. Does so, but into the hands of Barnsley. Couldn't find a corner, but that'll just give the Scarborough fans a bit of a lift.
Better play. Just worked himself a position there, Dom Tier. Well, weaker foot, but that was better.
Hasn't been too many shooting chances for Scarborough Athletic today. Barnsley hasn't really been called upon to his highest endeavour when the ball has been in play, from open play, that is. Willedge will now move the ball out on his right foot. Just getting the feeling here that 2 goals feels like a big ask for Scarborough Athletic, let alone 1, and Marine are trying to get forward with McDonald. A ball played in through the area down the centre. Thornton, however, tracks and covers.
And we look as if we're trying to force something that isn't on. You know, we've still got to be patient. There's still got a bit of time left to play. We're just giving the ball away too cheaply.
Duckworth takes charge, managing to burst out of the defence and gives it to his fellow substitute Zane Myers, who tries to move the ball over. The breaking news that was from before kick-off, by the way, was that Zane Myers' loan deal has been extended by a further month on loan from Hull City. And I get the feeling he might be getting called upon a little bit more often as... Marsden has gone in on Dom Tier. Now, that looked high. The referee has brandished a yellow card, and Tier was caught, and he's clutching around the shin. He went darting in on the centre circle, did the number 11 for Marine, and Tier caught the brunt. Referee immediately drawing the yellow card.
I don't think there was any complaints. Bit late, shall we say. Rather late.
Mistimed.
Yes,
well.
Mistimed. It was very late. You know, if we can get that goal, then the impetus and the momentum might be our way, but as it stands at the moment, we don't look as if we're going to score a goal.
No, we don't. 1-0 at the moment to Marine. Waldron has the ball at his feet. And Waldron waiting to see who he can pick out in a red shirt, because we know that Jonathan Greening and Kurt like Scarborough to go as ultra attacking as possible in the circumstances. The motion of rather losing by another goal then, but having the endeavour to try and go and get an equaliser, as Waldron will clip that ball to the right of the area, and Willedge got the touch. As they've gone behind off a Marine man, it has. So yet another corner. And what can they deliver from it this time? Because I imagine they're going to send a few more forward, and even Waldron's going forward. Brown will stay back. Duckworth hasn't gone forward. Waldron's waiting on the edges.
Yeah, Jack Waldron's going to come and leap in and head it in, I think.
Well, he's been good in the air today. Ball is towards the 6-yard box, and it actually slowed down in the air. Cleared away by Marine. Duckworth goes back to Colville. Into Myers. Myers' delivery. Touchdown by Tier, 15 yards from goal. He's trying to create that space, but he was swarmed by green shirts. 3 of them, in fact. And Marine clear away up towards Popula. There is an on-running man in McDonald. Clipped forward looking for him, but Ryan Whitley is there to gobble up. He will roll it out towards Duckworth. Popula presses. That's a poor ball behind Thornton, because he has to just move back a couple of yards as he then returns the ball to Duckworth. Looks like Waldron's actually playing as the Maloney figure, and he's just dropped into a midfield position, but he's alongside Colville by the looks of things, as the ball is moved towards Anson. A rather quiet Queensgate at the moment. And they're not playing well today, Scarborough Athletic. Nowhere near their level best that we've seen from them in home matches. Myers. Marine have got a habit, however, of conceding late. They've conceded 7 in the last quarter of an hour of matches. It's the most in the division. So Myers now dragging the ball down the right wing. And he's lost his footing. There's no support around him in red. But the ball has gone out on that far side. It will be a throw-in for Marine as they were trying to break away.
Yeah, good breakaway, but was a little bit isolated, and that's been the story of the day. Really, we haven't gone as a team. We've been the players that have gone on a run have been isolated, and you can always guarantee that when things aren't going so well for you, that there's a lack of options for you when you're going forward. And today that's been the problem. When we've had the ball, there's been an option, but not enough options.
Well, the ball has actually been given as a free kick for Marine. You know, the linesman have flagged in the motion to suggest a throw-in. Cleared away then by Finlay Barnsley, who's only really had to make one save in this second half from Dom Tier's shot on the edge of the area. hasn't had to dive down to either corner or do anything from close range apart from trying to just punch away a few crosses. It's been very routine for the Everton loanee in goal as Duckworth feeds the ball forward. Hit back towards Scarborough's defence by Marine. Waldron collects in the middle of his own half then for the Sea Dogs. Brown going wide towards Green, tries to spin away from Anson. It's a free kick, and that is judged to be a body check, and Anson gets a yellow card for his troubles, which I feel again is slightly harsh from the referee, because I thought Green ran into him rather than the other way around.
Yeah, I think Harry had gone past him, and it was a free kick, I think, but probably not a booking, I didn't think. But you know, everything's in isolation for us. You know, we're not stringing any passes together, and it's individual bit at the moment we're looking for, and that we haven't been about that this year. We've been about team play.
So Waldron on halfway. Bright start to the season. It's starting to get a little bit tainted as things stand for Scarborough Athletic as Matty MacDonald clears the ball away. Marine, the longer the game goes on, they'll galvanise and they'll stay together, I would suspect, because Walker this afternoon I don't think has had a single shot.
No, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but it looks as if it's one of those games that one goal's going to settle it, and they've got it. I think if we'd have taken a scrappy goal just like theirs, it is what it is at the moment.
Thornton, well, he's lost his footing. Popula tripped him. Free kick then on the halfway line. But Marine just seem to be quite happy just walking back into their positions. There's no dark arts about whether, like, you know, just trying to time waste or keep the ball away from those in reds. Bit of time wasting. They haven't really done that yet. No. They seem very comfortable at the moment with the situation as Waleji will play forward to Duckworth. Duckworth now peeling in from the right back position. Played now to Myers, shooting through traffic, blocked. Colville then trying to pick up the pieces 20 yards from goal. And Colville, in doing so, caught a man in the edge of the area, and Marine get a free kick as going down that time was Anson, the right back, who got booked earlier for Green's body check.
Yeah, we just the game's become bitty. That suited them, not us. You know, they're happy just to slow the game down, get bitty. Obviously, when you play against teams like this, you've got to get the first goal. It's so important, but we haven't done enough. We probably haven't deserved to be 1-0 down, but we haven't done enough to get our noses in front.
At the moment, though, the one saving grace for Scarborough in this scenario is neither South Shields or AFC Fylde are winning if you're looking up the table in the National League North. Radcliffe are 2-0 up away in their respected fixture as the ball lands in the penalty area with Whitley, who's now going to try and get Scarborough moving quicker. He's gone looking for Myers, and it's a really poor kick out. He's put his hand up of apology there, Ryan Whitley, and he rushed the clearance away. They're just going away from their tactical habits of building from the back. Even when you're behind and there's not much time left to run, you've still got to, you know, just look after that round white object.
Yeah, you've got to take care when you've got possession, and we haven't taken enough. We haven't got enough going forward. We haven't taken enough care when we've got into the final third, and also our play from back up forward has been poor.
I'll put this question out there, but give you some thinking time about it as we see Marine take a throw in. We'll let this phase go. MacDonald trying to get the ball 25 yards from goal. Charged down, however, though, by Dom T, and then Marine kick it out all the way down. It's going to go out of play for a goal. Go out for a corner. So it must have hit someone in red. The back four stopped. They thought it was going straight out for a goal kick. So Thornton now trying to rally the troops. And they just seemed very lethargic all of a sudden. As we'll watch this set piece. Marsden for the first time here, just slowing everything down. Give you a run through of the scores in a moment as well. Spennymoor are getting beat as well, by the way. So not a good day for those at the top end of the National League North. As Matty MacDonald will jog across. The former Warrington Town midfielder, got most of their goals last year. They were relegated. Marine will look to deliver a set piece that could put the game beyond Scarborough's reach. MacDonald with one arm up in the air. Bit of movement, looking for Newell, who got the first goal. Delivered in towards the back post, overhit. Anson can't get to that. and it goes behind for a goal kick. So the stat I'll give you, Scarborough have used the fewest number of players this season. They've only used 19. Could you argue, from this performance and the last two, they were poorer in some aspects to concede 4 twice, but are they starting to show a bit of sign of fatigue and tiredness from not rotating as much as other clubs?
Yeah, possibly. And the problem when you've got such a small squad is then that's when your injuries kick in, unfortunately. And Maloney's had 3 games this week, and with his record as such, it was an opportunity. It's been 3 big games, to be fair. So, but it's difficult to try and rest your players up and you've got to have a bit of confidence in your squad players as well sometimes.
Green controlling the ball, plays to Duckworth. Now Myers delivers into the area. It's a free header though for Drysdale, and the knockdown has landed at the feet of those in green shirts. Newell now up towards Popula, and McDonald was running through a big gaping hole as Thornton tries to bring the ball up towards halfway for Scarborough. Now into the feet of Dom Tier, who was just nudged over, and Duckworth now collects into Myers, past halfway, combines with, he went to combine with Waldron, and the ball has gone a yard in front of him.
Right idea, execution wasn't as good, but it was the right idea. Jack Waldron wasn't, but once he's got the ball inside there, I want to see him run at players. That's what he does really good, saying Myers. Carry the ball. If you need to carry it another 10 or 15 yards before you make the pass, that's great.
The current live table, as we've got 10 minutes or so to play here, South Shields will remain top with 32 despite losing 1-0 away at Macclesfield. Fylde will be second on 30. Radcliffe are winning away, as I mentioned, so they will go into third place, 2 points ahead of Scarborough, who are trailing here on FM and BBC Sounds by a 1-0. Buxton 5th on 23, side by side with Spennymoor, and also Kidderminster, who lead against Spennymoor. That completes the top 7 at the moment, but Scarborough's bright start bubble feels like it's well and truly burst in the last 7 days, as a free kick for the Sea Dogs. Thornton heads it down to Colville, plays it back to Green, 30 yards from goal, just green shirts in front of him. He's trying to create an angle. Wide now to Brown, in towards Green. Green delivers a low ball in, comes to Walker, looking for room, but he hasn't got any to work with, and Marine have swarmed on him, and they clear the ball up towards Popula. Duckworth is able to get good positioning, and it's going to be a free kick. And Duckworth will...
Experience from Duckworth. He didn't dive in, waited his opportunity to get the ball. Because, to be honest, when he got him half-turned, I thought he's got a chance to have a run at him here.
A couple of changes coming up for Marine in a moment. Jonathan Greening, arms folded. Not going to use Bill Marshall, Theo Chapman as things stand, as Myers collects in the right wing position and drags the ball inside. By far the most energetic player today, and he's only just come off the bench in the second half, you may feel, as Green tried to turn. Marine deal with it defensively. They try and clear. Brown on halfway, plucked out the diagonal, and then he's going to concede a free kick as he runs to try and win the ball back. He collides with Gregson just past halfway. We'll see a couple of changes. Hands on hips from Kieran Willedge and Will Thornton, and Thornton once again is trying to get those players around him lifted. Just doesn't feel like he's getting a lot of buy-in though this afternoon. It feels like Scarborough, even though it's 1-0, just sort of at this moment in time just pondering how they get back into the game, but there's not a lot of leadership or assertiveness at the moment.
I think without a shadow of doubt we're missing Perver, without a shadow of doubt. That was a prime example there. Alex Brown didn't do neither. Didn't control it, didn't pass it to anybody. Unfortunately, the pass or the control was nowhere near a Scarborough player, and that's probably just about summed us up today. We've been poor in possession, and we haven't been creative enough going forward.
So the goal scorer, George Newell, who's taking the plaudits from the Marine fans to our right hand side. He makes his way off. He's going to be replaced by defender James Brown, the former Malta international, who's had plenty of Football League experience, and another tall, imposing player to come in and try and shoehorn another player into that defence to try and get them home here, Marine, with all 3 points. A few Scarborough fans are actually already making their way down towards the town bar end for that possible early exit as Thornton shields the ball out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, we'd take a draw, won't we? At the moment as it stands, we'll take a point, go on, move on to next week.
Willegi will play to Dom Tier. Scarborough Athletics' next port of call is away at Worksop, which we will have for you online via the BBC Sport website on Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff. As the ball goes out of play for a throw-in, Thornton lifting his head in the air, I think now just getting a little bit annoyed with some of his teammates, as Waldron has had to drop into a defensive midfield role for Duckworth to go out into that right back position, and he drags it forward now towards Dom Tier. It's Myers. Myers has the ball in a right back position, plays towards Waldron and then over to Thornton. Can Scarborough Athletic find an opportunity to lift the Scarborough Athletic supporters towards the end of this game? 4 minutes of normal time to go, and it's 1-0 to the visitors Marine. A George Newell goal after 68 minutes, splitting the two sides. Willegi finds Myers 35 yards from goal. Ball forward to Waldron, takes on the shot. Big save from Barnsley, and then it's in from Walker. On the left-hand side, he manages to convert the rebound, and Scarborough Athletic pick up the ball. They run back, nowhere near their best today, but they might have just got a get-out-of-jail free card with their leading scorer, Stephen Walker. Borough 1, Marine 1.
Yeah, Zane Myers came in off the wing. Great ball through to Jack Waldron, made a great run. Good shot, as you would expect from Stephen Walker, following up. Good finish from a tight angle. We probably haven't deserved it, but on the other side of the coin, I don't think that they deserve to win the game as such. So, hey, we've got 5 minutes to get us out a winner.
Well, listen to the lift that's given Queensgate. Walker, hat-trick hero against Marine last year, has brought the Sea Dogs back level. Whitley clears away, flicked on by Colville. Now Walker sends a ball over his head, looking for Dom Tier. Header won by Wardle, the Marine captain. And they've just made changes, of course, to maybe give themselves a bit more of a defensive outlook, as we see Wardle clear away up towards Popula, just taken off their key striker. As Waldron into that midfield role, he was in the right place to play the ball, took the shot on. Walker was alert inside the penalty area, making up for that penalty miss against South Shields. That was to make it 1-1 that night. He's made it 1-1 now, as Popula plays to Matty McDonald. McDonald now running into the area on the left. Is he caught by Waldron as appeals for a penalty? McDonald's still got the ball trapped between his legs, so Scarborough just have to be careful in getting it free, and they do so. Back towards Waldron, who sends it screaming away up towards halfway. So 1-1 the scoreline, and a bit of a heavy knock as Finlay Tunstall, the substitute who's come on for Marine, leaving a mark on Walker. Can hear the fans to our right hand side. It's been pretty quiet from the terraces today, as McDonald nudged off the ball by Alex Brown and then goes in for a tackle. So a free kick. Waldron urging Thornton to get on with play quickly. Well, if they turn this around in terms of a comeback, it would be one that really was unforeseen, because Scarborough really haven't done too much in the second half. They've got a throw in now down near the corner flag. Yeah,
we probably haven't deserved, but look, we mentioned it before, they haven't hardly created anything. They came for a point, and they're probably going to look as if they were initially going to sneak a win, but we've still got 5 minutes, a couple of minutes plus whatever the referee's going to add on. I suspect it's going to be 5 minutes.
We shall see. It's a long throw to in here from Alex Brown, angled towards the near post, bobbles around. Thornton trying to get some clean contacts. Marine get it away. Whitley,
good keeping.
Well, he's done well there, coming out to the middle of his own
good goalkeeping,
side footing it away. Those in red shirts haven't helped him out though. It's picked up by Marsden, who delivers to Popula into the area. He has a shot over the bar into the fairground behind the Queensgate open end where the Marine fans are, and that needed certainly a bit more cuteness from Popula.
We've got isolated. Jack Waldron's done a really good job today. I think he's been my standout player without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, and he's carrying the ball forward now. And might we see him in a midfield position again, given the way that he's taken to it. Colville collects in the area, left-hand side. Oh dear. Well, he slammed that over the netting behind the goal, and that's probably landed in the bar next to the town bar end. It's actually landed probably in the pavilion where the rugby union ground is.
Yeah, it wasn't the right option, unfortunately. But I just missed who they called out as man of the match there. Fletcher, who they called out?
I didn't hear it myself, unfortunately.
Jack Waldron will be my man of the match without a shadow of doubt. He's been instrumental trying to get the game up further up. Zane Myers gets a mention for me as well. Even though he's only had about 25 minutes, he's looked lively when he's come on and looked dynamic. He wants to join in. That's what Scarborough needed.
The two lone players coming up with the goods. 5 minutes has been added on as well to conclude this game at Queensgate. Stephen Walker's 9th goal of the campaign, and probably the most important one so far, to get Scarborough Athletic back level, as Alex Brown has it in a left back area, and he will send it long up towards Dom Tier. Now obviously a bit more directness about them now, as Walker now collects left midfield position, taps it in field towards Dom Tier, 35 yards from goal. He turns, Tier into space now for Waleji. Scarborough looks so much more confident now, the back level. Waleji goes to Duckworth. Duckworth back towards Zane Myers. Myers to Thornton, however. Popula, the one-man press. Back towards Myers, who's dropped in deep. Good covering there from Marine that time, and it was Adam Thomas who's come on as a substitute. They've made their 5 subs, Marine, so they can't run the clock down with any more. As Whitley plays the ball out towards Alex Brown. Waldron again, just going and looking in pockets.
Yeah, he still wants it now.
He still wants it. I've enjoyed watching him actually as a centre midfielder, even though he is a full-back by trade. As Colville has continued to stay forward, because Scarborough not satisfied with 1 point, and they're keeping the door shut enough at the moment with Marine, who've hit it out for a throw-in on halfway. Tossed back in by Duckworth. 3 minutes of the 5 still to play. Waleji going long. It's going to be a difficult one for Myers to pick out. Marine had the ball out of play, and they've gained a few yards there of Scarborough Athletic down that right hand side, almost rugby union style, from one line out to another one. But in terms of a throw-in, Green now 30 yards from goal. He's just chopped away from first man, takes a shot on, it's blocked. Is Barnsley going to keep it in? No. Corner kick.
Yeah, just drop it in the pocket like Zane Myers has a lot of joy doing exactly the same thing there as Harry Green. He's dropped into the pocket, just picked it up and had a run at him.
Is 13 corners going to be unlucky as a number for Marine to give Scarborough their lucky 7 out of 7 from this set piece? Colville gets his arm up in the air, delivers. It's quite a high and hanging one. Waleji nearly went up for it, Thornton also, but Marine survived that set piece. Waldron battling with Tunstall. Tunstall has slide tackled in on Waldron, and it's a throw-in. Will they go short? Brown is asking for the ball. I think he wanted to set up for a long throw-in. Instead he gets it short and delivers. Flicked by Thornton and just wide. He bangs the ground in frustration. Glancing header which whistles past the far post. Barnsley was beaten, and Marine were nearly beaten, but inches wide.
Great ball in by Alex Brown, just what you want. Alec, that would have been some header if that had gone in from that angle, because it was quite a long way out, quite on the angle as such, but just got too much on it, unfortunately. Just needed a glance, and when it would have needed to go right in the top corner to beat the keeper from that angle. But yeah, great ball in, bit of quality is what we've really been lacking today.
It's taken the 94th minute though to carve out an opportunity of that stature from a wide area, as Fraser Barnsley, unsurprisingly for Marine, is taking as much time as he can now. Clips the post with his studs as he then kicks it long. There's a bit of hush descends on Queensgate. Duckworth shielding the ball in his own final third before playing towards Myers. So I have it on my watch that we've played 4.5 of the 5 minutes added on. There might be another minute. Green now trying to slide it through to Tier. Bit of pace. Wonderful tackle from Sinclair Smith.
Fantastic
the left back
tackle.
Covered.
Yeah.
And mentioned how strong he'd played in the first half. Hasn't seen too much of him in the second. but what a wonderful tackle that was from the fullback.
Game-saving tackle, without a shadow of a doubt, because Dom T looks as if he had the run on him initially, but great, fantastic tackle.
He's left his left sock down as well, as almost like a
souvenir.
A souvenir, yes. A battle scar, as Barnsley will deliver a free kick, which Marine won in the middle of their own half. They've only sent 2 forward for it. Wileji nods it down, comes to McDonald. Popula trying to push it through for McDonald! Marine have won it at the end! The bench come roaring forward, and all those in green go towards their travelling faithful. Matty McDonald, the star man in green, has left Scarborough green in envy that they're not going to take anything from this game. 95th minute, and it was possibly the final act as well. The referee calls them all back, but Marine have stolen it at the death unless Scarborough create something miraculous in the final few seconds. Scarborough Athletic 1, Marine 2.
Well, we were in the ascendancy, weren't we, to be fair? It looks like we were going to get the winner, and just a punt forward. We haven't dealt with it right. It's bobbled around a whip. Decent finish, to be fair, but probably I thought a draw would have been a fair result. They probably pinched it, and that's what happens sometimes when you're pushing forward to get a winning goal.
Well, that is going to hurt big time for those players on the pitch. The Marine fans absolutely delighted as kickoff takes place. Waldron sends it forward, and it was just, they needed to just defend their box a little better, and there is going to be a free kick. Apart from it is the final whistle in the centre circle. We've played 7 minutes of added time now, so this will be surely the final attack. Waldron will lift this towards every other outfield player in a red shirt, and in it clips forward, looking towards Colville, shaded by Anson. Duckworth, edge of the area on the right. Myers, he will swing a ball back in. Wileji is crowded out, not dealt with yet. Walker tries to get something on it, and there is the final whistle. Marine have won it in stoppage time to end Scarborough Athletics' winning run at Queensgate. Normally 7 is lucky. It's unlucky for the Sea Dogs this afternoon, and the circumstance in which they lost the game, so cruel. A stoppage time winner from Matty McDonald after Scarborough Athletic huffed and puffed their way to an equaliser through Stephen Walker with about 4 minutes to play. It looked like it was heading to a draw. Scarborough had a bit of pressure, but Marine, with their final chance of the game, have taken all the points back to Merseyside. Final score, Scarborough 1, Marine 2, Darren Foreman.
Yeah, neither side, in my eyes, deserved to win or deserved to lose. No, it wasn't that good a game. A draw would have been a fair result in my eyes. Just a little bit of, poor defending back end. You've got to defend properly, do things right, and I'm sure Jonathan Green will be disappointed in the way they've conceded late on, but to be perfectly truthful, we didn't produce enough quality or enough attacking play to justify a win, but I think a draw probably would have been a fair result.
There's been defeats elsewhere today for the table toppers South Shields, and also a defeat as well for Spennymoor. They'll be the only crumbs of comfort as I see Jonathan Greening, hands in pockets and head bowed as he makes his way to the tunnel. Some of the Scarborough players staying out there, clapping those at the town bar end. Michael Ingham just rubbing his brow at the moment. Will Thornton having a chat with Alex Wiles as Marine take the plaudits of their away supporters. They have won 4 out of 7 away from home, a side which were resolute and stubborn in their first season in National League North and wanting to build on that this year under new management of Bobby Grant. We can see how much it means to them. They're celebrating as if they've won like a cup round, or they've caused a shock. It feels like a shock through the home areas as the Scarborough players have made their way off the pitch and down the tunnel, but the game lacked quality from Scarborough Athletics' point of view. You've mentioned it there, Darren Foreman, how a draw would have been a fair result. Yes, it's cruel, but they've only got themselves to blame, Scarborough Athletic. They were nowhere near their best. No,
it wasn't our best day at the office, shall we say, but we huffed and puffed a lot. Distinct lack of quality going forward. and we've got to just defend. The first goal was a great ball in, great header. The second goal was just how it got to him initially was poor defended. I'm sure Jonathan Greening, when he looks at it, he'll be disappointed the way we defended.
How big a loss, in your point of view, will Lewis Maloney be now with the injury to Alex Wiles? Of course, Perver will come back, but first time this season, there is an area of the pitch which is severely limited, and it's your engine room, the central midfield area.
Well, looking at Lewis Maloney's injury, we're looking long term, I think, but it looks like he's pulled his hamstring. Alex Wiles looks as if he could be out for a wee while as well. Well, the only good thing that's come out of it is we've discovered that Jack Waldron didn't do bad there in the midfield. Where he could do it long term, I don't know, but he definitely showed that he's creative and wants to get on the ball. So the problem might be that when Perver comes back in, is he similar sort of player?
We shall see. 3 defeats in a row for Scarborough Athletic. The first one at Telford was a bit of a shock to the system and a bump in the road, if you like. Then they were battered by South Shields, the table toppers, in a top-end clash. This defeat, however, will be the most sour and the most stinging to those in the Borough camp. It's finished here at Queensgate. Scarborough Athletic 1, Marine 2.